and welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. We're going to roll up on the plateau, and actually, tomorrow night they're going to be in action, and that is the Cookville Cavaliers. And I've got on with me on the line the head coach of the Cavaliers, head coach Jimmy Maynord. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing okay, Stork.
Well, Coach, I was asking Coach Shed Owens how many years it is, and I do want to say, is this 42 or 43 for you?
It is 42.
That's what I thought. 42 years as a head coach, and still loving it, aren't you?
I get most of the time. Most of the time, I am.
Well, at least you got turf. You got a lot of things that a lot of communities don't, and you sure do. Got a great community behind you there of the Cookville Cavaliers. And how has your, I guess, prep season, whatever you want to call it, two-a-days, whatever, ever since TSSAA turned you loose, how's that gone for you, Coach?
Well, it's been okay. We lost a lot of kids from a year
Mm-hmm.
ago, so we're kind of starting over, and it's been, you know, a learning process for a lot of our inexperienced players, and so I guess and I tell our coaches this, I have to tell myself this: you have to be patient, and I'm not a real patient person, so I have to stop and know that these young men have not been on the field in games, a lot of game experience. So it's been it's been a challenge from that perspective. But our kids have worked hard. They're trying to do what we're coaching them up to do, and uh, you can't. That's all you can ask.
Been coaching a long time. What is the one thing with young gentlemen as you start to try to mold them or whatever? Or what's different? I mean, and I don't want to be mean, and it is what it is. But I guess I'm 54, so growing up and everything. I mean, kids, 20 years ago. I mean, there was just a whole lot of different line of respect, I guess, between you and the player versus today. And it's not that kids today don't have respect for you as a coach, but there was a feeling, a nonverbal feeling of respect years ago when certain people walked in the room, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a little different, but it's a different world now. I think with their kids, they don't a lot of our kids that play football, and our numbers are still good. They're not as good as they have been in some years, but the biggest thing I've noticed, kids really don't watch football games anymore. They don't study the game, watch the game. They're busy with video games and other stuff. They still enjoy playing, but they're not, I guess, committed to it as much as what you'd like to see, or as much as they were years ago. Because I know growing up myself, I watched every football game that was on TV or that I could watch, and I don't know that our kids do that as much anymore.
And maybe it was just because, is it because now our networks and everything you can watch Reaper on demand, and they just, I guess because you and I grew up in an era where, you know, four games on a Saturday on TV, that was huge. If you could get four different games going, because generally by 7 o'clock, there was nothing after. I mean, there was usually maybe one night game if you were lucky, but usually years ago, once time TV kicked in along about 7 or 8 o'clock, the local networks, the antenna they didn't have a game for Saturday night, did they?
No, not that I can remember. No, there's a lot more of it now for sure. You can get one about every night, but I don't know. I just don't think they like playing, but I don't think they study it and really know the game like maybe it was years ago.
Well, Coach, you said you're starting off young, and boy, I remember 2 years ago you saying, or 2 or 3 years ago, when I got there, and you guys told me you were young, and then that group came through last year, and boy, they really were good. Just talk to us a little bit about your signal caller and everything. I know it's going to be a young gentleman, but who we got running the ball now? Because Cookville's now in a different region, so we won't see you, but I will see you because I do have you scheduled for the Blackman game. But as far as us seeing you in the playoffs, it'll be a little bit. You guys are on that other side now, aren't you?
We are, and a different region, and I know this is, I guess, my ninth year at Cookville, and this is the third region, different region we've been in 9 years. So, we're kind of in a situation where we're out here with a large school and we're surrounded by smaller schools and communities. So it's we can go different directions, and but we enjoyed being in the region we were in. I thought that was is a tough region, but our kids were very competitive. We managed to get wins against everybody in that region except Oakland, but nobody else has either. So that's not not any different for anybody else. But it is new, with Lebanon and still have coffee in there, and we've added Shelbyville, so it's a small region, which makes it a little difficult when you start scheduling because you've got to schedule six non-region games, which is hard to do sometimes. But we're looking forward to it. As I said, we're gonna have to improve and get better week by week. We're facing an Upperman team that returns 20 starters from a year ago,
Wow.
and a very talented team, one of the most talented teams they've had probably since maybe 3 years ago. And we know we got a task at hand, and hopefully we can be competitive and get some breaks and hang in the ball game with them.
Also, see, you've got a game at Gallatin, and then you're going to go over and play Coach Rankin in October against Alcoa. So you've got, I mean, besides you, and then got Blackman. So you didn't back off the Coach Maynord. You did not back off the trigger. You kept the schedule very competitive and everything, and they'll be well tested by the time they get to playoffs.
Well, if we can get there, if we still got enough standing to get there, hopefully we will be. But I think you get better by playing good people. Coach Rankin and I really didn't want to play. I couldn't find a game with that date, and it's actually a region date where everybody has region games, and he didn't want to play, and I didn't want to play either. But we decided what the heck, we'll get together and play. So we kind of traded Oakland for Alcoa. I don't know which is a better trade. I don't know.
Well, did you have a good summer, Coach?
I did. It's always too short, but enjoyed it. Enjoyed being with my grandkids and that type of stuff. But it was good. What about you?
Oh, I always have a good summer. I messed around. My family's, my dad is 85, my dad is 84. My mom's 83. They both still living and live up in Kentucky. And I went up there and saw them, and then kind of milled around. But I'm working on a big project up in Kentucky for a carrier, and we've got a fiber to the tower project, and it is stretched across about 367 different access points for cellular
Wow.
antennas. And so what we're trying to do is just take that Schedule 80 conduit and stick it in the ground and run it about 2.5 feet deep and run it all the way up to the cell site. And that's just for them to run fiber into it, and so it'll light up the service a lot more steadier connection. If you got storms and stuff like that. I mean, uh, we're dealing with one situation right now. We're on the Fort Knox base, and part of it's going to be in the air, and part of it's going to be in the ground. So it's a different little deal, but it's all about making the phone work. I've loved it. I've been in the industry all my life, and I've been fortunate enough to work in it. But yeah, I've had a really good summer and going to have a good fall. I mean, we're looking forward to coming up to your place later on in the season. I've got you on the schedule. October 22nd, we'll be at your house, so we'll keep talking to you every week as you go through your schedule and everything. But going to be at Tech tomorrow night, and wow, I definitely I'd love to come to that game and everything because, like you said, it's going to be a good test for you tomorrow night against Upperman in that in senior laden class.
No doubt about it. I just look forward to it. Just ready to get the season started. I know our kids are. They get at this point, they're ready to get started, and we'll see how things go. We just got to, again, we got to, you know, take it week by week and try to improve each week.
Coach, we sure do enjoy you, and we'll be following you all season. Take care, stay safe, and come away with a W.
Hey, thanks, Stuart.
All right, bye bye.